Last we left off, the party had gathered around Bess in the commander's office as she attempted to scry on him. And what she saw and relayed to the party, however, was perplexing. Her scry spell had somehow landed on the queen. Seeing Bess was watching, the queen delivered a short series of messages reinstating her offer to leave Direwood forever in return for the scroll, warning the party that Light's life was on the line and that their current course was quote-unquote suicidal. The party, not so easily dissuaded, discussed what to do next. The party, they ruminated on what the scry landing on the queen meant. Maybe she had somehow redirected the scry, or perhaps she had Light's soul trapped somehow on her person. Regardless, in their discussions, the party landed on how the queen seemed to always know their next move despite their possession of an amulet, given to them by Light, that should keep her from scrying on them. Bess investigated with some spells and discovered the amulet was in fact the opposite of what they had thought. It was an arcane beacon constantly broadcasting their location to someone or something. The party decided to leave the amulet in Light's office, tucked away with a friendly note to whoever might find it, hidden by Alistair's spell for 24 hours. Their next move was to finish their business with the power word Truth Scroll. Unfortunately, Light and Alistair's father would have to wait. The party made their way back to the hidden passages containing the underground labyrinth left behind by the Mages Guild. They needed diamonds as a component for the spell, and there were plenty to be found there. Unfortunately, as they began their search, they encountered a surprise visit from an old friend, the Clockwork Spider, which had been reassembled and greatly improved. Now appearing more like a scorpion-spider hybrid, the mechanoid creature pinned Bess down, blasted the party with fire and lightning. Squider, thank you. Blasted the party with fire and lightning, dealing many hefty blows. But the party returned its damage in kind. It was very frightening. Six battered the beast with his fists, drawing its attention away from the party when he could. Eventually, too burned by it to want to continue touching it, he took to throwing rocks. Alistair and Doran slung spell after spell. It might have just been one rock, but still, it was a confusing move. Alistair and Doran slung spell after spell at the creature, rusting it, freezing it, and blasting it apart bit by bit. Whilst Bess healed the party and banished the creature twice, buying the party time to cast more spells and recuperate when needed. Eventually, the mechanoid beast fell as it passed through Bess's Guardian of Faith spell, which she had cast at the very beginning of the fight. As the dust settled and the party checked their wounds, they pushed forward just a bit longer to gather some extra diamonds, eventually coming away with roughly 825 gold worth, about 325 more than they would need for the spell. As they escaped from the passage, a mighty storm began to brew above them. They were battered and beaten and needed to rest, but also needed to push on so as to take advantage of their beacon distraction, which would only last another 18 hours or so. They made their way just into the city proper, ducking quietly into a small 2-story house in the slums of Direwood, where they could take a short rest and prepare themselves for the next leg of their journey into the belly of the metaphorical beast, Ground Zero. So this is where we are. You've all had your short rests and have healed up. It's been about an hour and a half, and your plan was to set out for Ground Zero with haste. It's storming heavily, and the rain and thunder are battering the small house you guys currently occupy. Your best guess as a group is that it's about maybe 4 p.m. So, knowing this, what's your next move? Well,
I think at this point we need to. Oh, we can just teleport out, right? That was the thing. We didn't have to go through one of the big portals at all. That was just a.
No.
Is that correct?
Yep, you were able to get out of the labyrinth because you found the one entrance exit.
Okay. I would say we probably head back that way with our spider, and Blake didn't take the bait, and head toward Ground Zero.
Well, you guys are, as we left off last time, you guys are just, I'll ping it here, just within the slums here, in a small house.
We took a long rest, or short rest.
You took a short rest, and I believe you all already rolled for your health.
Yeah, because I'm out of a.
I think, yeah, Blake, didn't you use exactly all of your
Yeah.
hit die to get to full? Yeah.
I mean, I overhealed by 2.
Yeah, the only other note I have is at 6. You do have 1 point of the wounded condition, but that won't affect you unless you get knocked out again, so let's hope you don't.
Okay. Yes.
So what's the plan?
My
Probably
concept
cry a
was
little
to head toward ground zero. What is everybody else's?
It's raining.
Very heavily.
It's raining very heavily.
Which you
Yes.
do know, I think actually 6, you had guessed this before, but you do know this should help a bit with the hysterium haze that usually dominates the
Right.
city. You don't know what kind of effect it'll have on ground zero, but typically, while you might have to kind of dodge around some shifting fog clouds of hysterium haze or something like that, it should be a bit easier to move about the city, though it will be harder to spot any roving bands of rats if you were to come into contact with them.
Well, it's gonna smell like a wet rat. I say we get to move on regardless.
It's not a terrible smell.
I squint my eyes at him with enough anger that it's palpable.
Why are you so angry, Doran?
Let's just. Okay, so the game plan that I've gathered is the fact that I'm mostly resistant to hysterium because it's in my chest and partially in my tummy. I pat my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Bess and I smile. That I'm gonna be mostly in charge of being in ground zero once we get close.
Okay. Yes. I
So
think that is appropriate.
I like to have things figured out before we head in.
Okay. What else do we need to figure out?
I think that's really it. I mean, we're just gonna head in there, hope for the best. Go in, grab the pounds of hysterium, and leave.
That would be best.
And that's best. I kind of grab my stuff and get ready to leave.
Whoa. Okay. Are we ready?
Nope. As I keep packing up.
Right. All right, you guys finish packing up your things. You finish your short rest, and venture back out into the rain-pelted streets of Direwood. What is the path you are taking to Ground Zero? And is there a marching order? Are we on the lookout for rats? Are we moving quickly, stealthily? What's the idea?
I mean,
When you have a
six
second,
is
I have a
always going to
reply
be.
from Jacob. But go ahead.
Oh, 6 is going to. Well, he's always going to be looking out as we're moving along, but at this point, I don't think we need to be that quiet. I mean, a lot of attention would be a good thing, but it's raining. It's going to cover some footsteps and stuff, so
How loud
we can.
is the rain?
How what?
How loud is the rain?
Quite loud. Many of the kind of paved streets of Direwood, many, the main roads in Direwood are paved or cobblestone or, some form of rock. So and with all the ramshackle, destroyed houses, there's lots of rubble. There's sounds of rain pelting wood, metal, stone. It's quite loud.
Is the rain washing away the pain of yesterday?
That's up to you.
Rarely.
Rarely.
Doran looks into the sky with somber eyes.
The camera pans out slowly.
Is it possible to have a quickened pace, but not paced, but not be like loud? Or
Well,
is it either or,
I mean,
Mr. Director, sir?
I will say if you want to have a quickened pace, typically your quickened pace would just mean that you would be more susceptible to others sneaking up on you. I will say you probably wouldn't cause any extra commotion or make yourselves any more noticeable because of how loud the rain is if you were to move at a quickened pace, but you would still have a harder time already. Like with the rain, this also means that you'll have a harder time spotting others. If you move at a quickened pace, it's going to be even harder than that.
Wouldn't that make it even harder for them to see us?
Yeah, it would go both ways.
Oh.
We should stick to the streets, avoid alleys, so we have as much vision as possible.
Why would you avoid me?
What?
Why would you avoid me? You said avoid alleys. At least 6 got the joke. Okay, let's go.
By far my least favorite.
So we're moving
Alright,
at a
let's
quickened
head.
pace.
Quickened, not extraordinarily loud. I'm not throwing cans as we walk.
Okay.
As he says that, Doran kind of puts it about a little angrily. I don't want to throw cans.
What is our path?
Okay, let's take a look here. So we're
'Cause-
we're at. Is the Mage's Tower the yeah? Okay.
You're about
Kind of the area
here,
we're in.
just within the gates here in the slums.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking, does this work? Haha, it does. Essentially, the fastest would be kind of across this way, down his way. Can anyone see this? Oh shit! What's it doing? It's making a weird shape.
Did you click the right tool? Forehead.
I guess I did not. Oh wait, maybe did I put a fill shape?
You probably
Aha!
There you go.
All right. So if we kind of go from there, across the bridge here, and then curve up, I think that's going to be our shortest route. It'll
Okay.
Take us past New Republic territory.
It'll take you right past New Republic territory.
That's
So
just
an
an extra
alternate.
fuck you to-
We could go north across the bridge, and then kind of something similar.
No, I say actually, the first path is probably the smartest. Because honestly, is she going to expect us to run right through her territory?
Probably not. Probably not.
It's
We
ballsy.
can throw bricks in her window.
As much as I would love to do that, I doubt we should.
We could just put up a condemned sign and see if they move out.
Not a bad
Nah.
idea.
Oh, thank you.
I agree with that. I agree. It's not a bad idea. Add it to your list of questions to ask. With the scroll 6, will the condemned sign work?
Yeah, I can't say one way or another.
I
it's-
believe
yeah.
when the scroll tells you a hefty no, it'll be when we tell Malcolm that's what we used it for. He'll be very happy.
No.
Oh,
Probably not.
Jellybean, you.
Everyone has a cat. I don't have a cat.
I don't have a cat either.
I have 2 cats. If you want to borrow
Alright.
mine, if you make the quick trip out here,
Yeah, I'm good for the moment though. I got some rabbits.
you can borrow
Thank
one
you.
for 3 to 5 business days.
3 to 5. So that would be over a weekend if I got on like a Friday.
Hold on, were you just trying to talk?
It's pretty good.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought I heard "Hello, is anybody there?" really quietly from you.
That was not my soundboard. I promise.
I love how that's a
Uh,
thing we have to make sure of.
Is Bess? Do you think the southern route would be a decent route to take?
Yes.
I almost feel like one route is as good as another at this point, and that's a nice short one. Alistair, are you in agreement?
Yeah.
All right.
First way to get
We-
there is the best, in my opinion.
We.
If she decides to attack us there, then fuck, I guess we
Uh.
fight.
I'm making arrows.
Okay. We're gonna head that way
Uh,
then.
Judy?
Sorry,
Judy
I was
Lord.
nice.
Have you guys ever seen the show NCIS?
I've seen
I
little
know.
bits and pieces.
Do you know you know the character Ducky?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm working on my computer.
I want to make a character like
Okay.
Ducky. All
Love
he
you.
does is have
Bye-bye.
you know, just random fucking stories for everything. Just talks too much.
Sorry, I was just not expecting you guys to go this way. And you're passing through a very specific area that I have a map in the works for that is not quite done, but you're passing through it, so here we go.
We're gonna make fun of you for not having it be done.
Is this what you call a
let me
map?
I'm just doing
Maybe
some
you shouldn't have slept
Oof.
all day. You
very
bum.
quick,
I can make something better on Microsoft Paint,
Oh my God.
and I have.
She was just wondering how we were. Hadn't seen us in a while.
I'm just readying this very quickly. 14. Oh wow, okay.
Where's the colors? Where's the textures?
Just doing this as quick as I can.
And he says he's prepared.
I thought I was, and then you did this. I wasn't ready for you guys to go this
He's
way.
putting the
I'm almost
finishing
there.
polygons on it.
Yeah, precisely.
Ah.
Yep, and then over here, yeah. Okay, there we go. Good enough. So
Blake, Jacob said got something against purple lovers, and regardless of that, fuck that guy.
nice. As you guys take this path, I need whoever is leading to make a perception check, and I also need everyone to
I would
roll
be
a
happy to
d4
take the
or a
lead.
d6.
I will be third in line. Or I'm not leading, but I'm hanging towards the back.
I would be happy to lead or take up the rear, whichever anybody is comfortable with.
I want to be in the middle.
Middle, okay. Alistair?
I'm pretty much fine with whatever.
All right, I'll take lead, and you wanted a D6 and a perception, is that correct?
Yep.
Holden?
I want a d6 from everyone and a perception from lead, which would be 6.
I rolled a d6,
Here
but
comes
I'm not making a
perception.
perception check because I'm not in the lead because I'm not 6.
Okay, a 5, 2, an 11 on perception. Okay, a 6. Okay,
Yeah.
and a
My,
4. Okay,
My first one didn't go through because I can't roll like a G6.
nice. All right.
I actually typed G6.
Let me just double check here. So the first part of your journey, the first at your quickened pace, the first hour about, you will reach the New Republic area. The sun is not quite setting, but it is rather dark already due to the heavy storm above you. You're all kind of soaking wet already. Actually, that
I'm
didn't
not.
take long. You were soaking wet within like 5 minutes of leaving the house that you were in.
I will do my best to keep myself dry.
Here's the thing: you can keep yourself dry, but it's gonna be like, I'm dry. Oh, I'm super wet. I'm dry. Oh, I'm super wet. I'm dry. So like, if you want to, you totally can, but it's a bit of a moot
tedious.
endeavor. You're not getting anywhere. Like, yeah, you're dry, and now you're not, and now you're dry, and now you're not. There's a heavy storm. Regardless,
like it.
as you guys make your way southeast toward the New Republic Tavern, crossing the bridge, keeping an eye out for anything that might be watching or following you. It does, in fact, in certain places smell like wet rat and is very unpleasant. But as you move quickly through the streets, covered by the heavy storm, for a while you don't run into any trouble. Until, as you're coming up on the New Republic, the area of the New Republic Tavern, let me just make this real quick. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I have these. Sorry, I didn't have my dice, like, out and ready. I didn't think I'd need them this soon. Alright. Okay, yeah, so he's not even trying. I will take you to the map, the unfinished map here. If you guys want to scoot up to the top left corner, that is where you are coming from.
Haha, unfinished
Top
map.
Thanks. You can see ahead, because he's not very much trying to
Whoa.
hide.
Squares ahead.
You call this a map?
Technically.
Better in grade school.
You do see ahead there does appear to be a man in a some sort of green attire. He's wielding a large crossbow and in a hat. He's kind of bundled up, looks like he's ready for the storm. Seems to be on lookout of some kind. And he seems to notice you, or at least he notices shapes moving in the distance, and he's not pointing his crossbow, but he's kind of got it at the ready looking your way. The rainfall is
Ahoy!
heavy enough that it's obscuring you at the moment. Do you call out to him?
I do.
Okay, Six calls out ahoy, and you can't tell. You kind of see the shape like shift forward a little bit, like it's trying to get a better look, and it shouts back, "Hello, who goes?"
He goes.
Members of the Cloaked Rangers and the Church of the Rock.
Oh, you fucking... Your Doran just shake his head.
You hear a loud whistle, and the shape of the man disappears.
Why would you say that?
We gotta run.
He asked who we were. I thought,
You are the worst person.
What if he's looking for us, Six? What if he has the description of people who are in the Cloaked Rangers and Church of the Rock? And we just gave him a silver platter of us.
well, he saw us.
He-
I'm assuming
But
you're
he
going to
didn't know
make
who
the
we were.
assumption.
Told him exactly who we were.
We need to start moving now, and I'm gonna kind of.
What if I was lying? All right, we can move.
Quickly.
I hustle with everybody else.
Okay.
Kind of berating him at the same time.
Everybody, you have 2 turns worth, so you can use as much movement as you want with 2 turns worth right now, and tell me what you're doing,
Got
where
it.
you're going.
I think we should stick behind the buildings right now.
Well, with Six's movement speed, he won't be with
Wait, hold
anywhere
on.
near us.
This seems wrong. Each square is 15 feet. That's not right.
Oops.
See, unfinished map. See, okay, here. I'm gonna fix that right now. There we go.
Just the entire time. Why would you say that? What purpose?
So there's 100. I'm just gonna use the last bit to run up on top of that roof where he was. Just pop up on top and see if I can see anything.
You just gonna get up on top of there?
Yep.
Okay. What's everybody else doing? As Six rushes forward ahead of you and just runs up onto the roof and jumps up where you saw the vague shape of the person who called to you.
I'm gonna see where everyone else fucking runs.
You have 2 turns worth of time here.
We go back over here.
I'm gonna stick with Bess on this one.
Okay, so you guys see Six just rush forward, and you all take cover back here.
I'm gonna run here for my first turn.
Oh, Alistair, do you want, because your token, again, just blends into everything, do you want me to give you some sort of aura?
Oh, if you want.
Aura.
Yeah, just gotta figure out, where the fuck are you? There you are. Here you go. I figured this will just make it easier. We'll give you a 5-foot square, just for fun. There.
Flanks.
You can see that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, only you and I can see it.
Square.
Okay, so that's where you guys are?
Sure.
For the first turn.
Okay. For your first turn, are you all hanging out there, or because you have a second turn worth of?
Oh. For the second.
Okay.
I'm gonna dart over to here, and kind of then start looking out around the buildings. Kind of keep an eye here, and see if anyone comes out with a firebolt at the ready.
Okay, make a perception check. Alistair, Bess, are you doing anything else other than just moving along and taking cover?
I'm fighting with Alistair, so
Okay.
unless he's doing something else.
I'm going to cast Minor Illusion
Okay.
and make it sound like me and Bess's voices. Oh shit! Whoops. Ignore that. Are coming from, like, over in this area. Damn it. Over here.
Okay. Okay. Bess or Doran with a 14. You're looking around. You're checking for other buildings. You got a firebolt kind of at the ready. As the rain pours down around you, it's obscuring your vision, and if there is anybody, you can't quite see. But you all do hear a sharp ah as Six, as you jump up on top of the building. You find you are landing pretty much exactly on the man who was up there, who apparently had just kind of ducked down, gave a whistle, and was at the ready. He had a ready to action to shoot his crossbow. So as you jump up with disadvantage, because you're right in his face, he's going to loose a crossbow bolt at you.
Okay.
And with disadvantage, it has no hope of hitting you.
May I catch the bolt and stab him with it?
I'm pretty sure you can catch the bolt. I don't know exactly what your ability allows you to do. I think it allows you to throw it back, right?
It allows me to throw it back, yeah, but it's...
So
it's
I'll totally
only if
allow
it's
you to just...
like a
You're within...
throwable.
Yeah, you're within 5 feet.
Alright.
So basically, you run up and you jump up there and you're like midair about to land on the roof, and you look down and you see the guy go, ah! And he points his crossbow up, and you see it in like slow motion, bullet time. He pulls the trigger, and the bolt comes directly at your head, and you're just like, and as you catch it right in front of your face, whip it around quickly, and as you're coming back down, you jam it into him.
All right.
I believe you get to. I don't know how you roll damage for that. Do you just roll damage for what the projectile is?
Usually, but if I'm stabbing him with it, it might just be like a 1d4 type situation.
I'm gonna give you a 1d6. I'm gonna give you.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a 1d6 on this one.
Oh man.
Plus 9?
I'm going to use a luck.
Oh wait, that's
reroll
your
here
to
because
hit. Oh yeah,
that
go
was
ahead.
A little silly. Yeah. Okay. One more
If
time.
you have a plus 5 damage, that's more right. Okay, I saw the plus 9 for the hit, and I was like, whoa! No, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead. Wait, didn't you use like all of your luck die earlier?
No, we've had a rest between.
Okay. Yeah, with the dirty 20 now, that one will hit. So as you, we will take the damage on the first one though, the 8. As you come down, you guys hear somebody scream out, and in just a brief moment later, echoes out throughout the area, and I guess this means we're rolling initiative.
As I land, I say, "Oh, sorry, reflex. What's up?"
Oh, what's up? God damn it.
As you have just ruined that man's day. After stabbing him, which is your own fault.
Me?
Yeah,
He shot me.
you alerted him.
No, I just said hi. Really?
My
I don't know
lord.
where
Okay.
that's all
So that's 4 of you, and you can fix your initiatives as you need to.
Already did, Daddy-o.
Dunzo.
Alrighty. And now I gotta do this whole thing. Call you 1 and 1.
And a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 4.
1, and then you're 2. Okay. With that, we'll roll theirs. Balls.
Balls.
I like the sound of balls right now.
You like the sound of balls? Doing what?
I'm not going to answer your questions.
I'm hurt.
Oh shit.
I've been studying law, Jason.
You've been studying me?
No, I'm just studying law.
Oh.
I plead the 5th.
Yeah, you do. And then we'll create a copy of this one. Sorry, again, this map was not ready, so I'm like scrambling to get this going.
Or maybe
No
something
worries.
you might have prepared. You've had 7 days.
Who?
I'm
What?
Jason.
Oh,
Who gets 7 days?
I started
I had
to
7 days to
yawn,
prepare for this.
fuckhead. What was it saying, Jason? I started to fucking yawn.
You said Jay, and now I'm thinking of my brother.
Alright.
Gross.
That's how I yawn.
Okay, so let me reorder this. So it's gonna be
Yay!
6.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Fuck, I'm tired.
all right. 6. After you've just stabbed this
Yeah.
man with his own crossbow bolt, you're the first to react in this situation. Now, what are you doing? You go. Oh, sorry, reflex.
So I land and I go, dude, are you okay? And I save. I ready. If he makes any sort of threatening motion, I'm just going to unleash a full attack. So I will keep that ready if possible.
Okay. Make a general charisma check.
Snap
Okay.
your neck like a
See if you
marine
can
would.
persuade the the aggression out of this man you just stabbed with a 14. Okay. Let's see here.
That's a saving throw, Holden.
Oh, that's a thing.
that
No, I
was-
need a regular
I'm
check.
So sorry.
Lucky
Okay.
I noticed.
I got it.
I
You
got-
are lucky.
I have
You-
eyes.
Yeah.
They might be a little bloodshot, but
No, he gets like a nat 1.
Charisma.
Oh no, a
Okay,
21.
like
Okay.
saves the
Thanks,
day.
man.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome, Dad.
With that,
I start to cry.
I start to cry. Doran, as you are sitting there waiting with a firebolt at the ready, you do notice somebody come around the corner from one of these buildings. Are you gonna let loose on him?
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, these are hostiles.
Okay. Roll that attack.
Unless I recognize cloaked ranger attire.
No, these are certainly, you kind of recognize the hodgepodge mishmash of people who affiliate themselves with the New Republic.
Then yeah, if I let one rip loose.
Let one rip.
He farts.
Beyblade.
Firebolt,
Beyblade!
firebolt. Oh boy.
Beyblade!
Oh, wait, 21 fire damage. Oh, you get 3d10. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Beyblade!
With that, as this best you can not quite see, Alistair you can see sort of though. As Doran is sitting here, very carefully, quietly looking around, he sees moving and he lets loose a mighty firebolt that streaks across through the air, through the rain, and you hear as a man who was just moving around the corner gets hit. Okay, he's going to continue moving 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, and he ducks behind a building over here, and you cannot see his movement from there.
I just see smoke. I see
Yeah,
one-
you see a smoke trail go over there.
Oops.
And let's see here. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Shortly after, you see lumbering around the same corner a massive half-orcish man wielding a large, wicked, gnarled sword and a patchwork shield in relatively thick hide armor is stomping and approaching toward you. As he does so, Bess, it's your turn. All you've heard so far are a couple of screams from various directions.
And none of them are screams of my friends, right?
So you're pretty sure. I think by now you're all quite familiar with each other's screams of pain.
And love.
I want to move a little bit closer to the edge and kind of peek around, but I'm not gonna do anything yet. I'm just gonna and try to stay hidden.
You just kind of see a smoke trail going off to this side.
I'm
wait, you
not ready
cannot
for
see that.
another fight. This is not gonna
Yep.
be good.
You see a smoke trail coming off to the side, and you see a large half-orcish man approaching. Rather intimidating.
I'm gonna say yikes and keep hiding.
Okay, make a stealth check for me.
A stealth check?
Yep. Okay, with a 12. There's not a good place for you to hide here, so you kind of just get yourself up against the wall and get down a little bit. Between that and the rain, you feel somewhat hidden. Or at least you're not in immediate view of anybody who might want to attack you that you could see. Doran, what will you do?
I see this guy. Does it look like he sees me?
Oh yeah, he's coming right for you. And he's moving rather quickly. I'll be actually. You can't quite tell though. No, never mind. Go on.
I look at him and go, no, boo boo, you can't see me. I tap my own nose, and he can't see me. So I turn invisible.
Okay. With which spell?
Enjoy the taunt.
Invisibility.
Just plain invisibility?
Just plain invisibility.
Okay. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Doran Doran with a childish remark. Becomes invisible.
Outline of Doran in the rain.
Yeah. If you look, actually, Alistair, because you know he can do this, you can kind of see a vague outline of him just in the rain. You'd have to look real close. But I think, don't you have a pretty high passive perception?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you might have the highest. Yeah, you have a pretty high passive perception. You could just see this outline of him in the rain, just barely, and you can see him start to move.
20.
You're not sure if anyone else would catch it, but
I go back towards them and I kind of go, I don't know how many there are, but we should maybe want to make a run for it if you still have the invisibility torches I gave you. I don't know who has what anymore. I go here.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be that.
All right, Alistair, having heard Doran's vague suggestions, what will you do?
I am going to use minor illusion again
Okay.
and make a very visible Doran-shaped outline
Okay.
over here.
Okay. Let's do this. Here's how I'm going to do this. We're going to copy you over. I'm going to get rid of this. And we're going to add a harsh
Make
white tint. So this is the vaguely Doran-shaped outline in the rain. Okay.
And I make it noticeable.
Yeah, no, I mean, you basically getting the idea from you just barely seeing Doran. You take that idea and just make it way more noticeable. It looks a little unnatural, but to the untrained eye, somebody that's not familiar with invisibility,
Like an orc.
possibly. That's assuming a lot. To the untrained eye, somebody who doesn't understand magic a lot might totally think that they're being smart and seeing this person in the rain, despite their invisibility. That could totally work.
Is that racist? I feel like that's kind of racist.
I mean, it's D&D racism, which is like, like 1/4 racism. It's, because they're not real. But
It's real to me.
it's real to you, then it's full racism. Anything else, Alistair,
No, that'll do it.
other than your racist play? Are you going to stay put there?
Yeah.
Okay. With that, we're coming back to the man that 6 you are kind of half on top of. With your, I believe it was a 21 charisma check, you just jam this bolt into toward his right shoulder, in between his the center of his chest and his right shoulder up here, and he's like, you kind of got him half pinned down. Are you holding it there? Or how are you?
No,
standing?
when I apologize, I kind of I back off a little bit. Like I don't leave.
Yeah, you can't
technically, I
move
guess,
5
his
feet.
Square.
You
or
literally
whatever.
just
Right,
you
so
literally.
I just sort of I do one of these like oh sorry.
Oh god, yeah, you do like a little ooh, and he's kind of lying there like he grabs onto the bolt. You could see there's like a split-second decision happening in his head. He looks up at you, kind of bewildered, kind of mad, kind of scared. Who are you?
I already said that.
Cloaked Ranger?
I'm 6.
His eyes grow wide, and he pulls out his dagger and lunges toward you.
All right. That's fine. I'll give him kind of a like that's unexpected and rude, and then I will just use the same fist 4 times.
It is his turn. Oh no, you readied your action.
Please.
You had an action waiting. Yeah.
There's a 1. There's a 2. There's a 3. And there's a 4.
Just bat.
So as you say I'm 6, and his eyes grow wide. You see that split-second decision has been made. He pulls out a dagger, lunges out toward you, and you go, "Whoa!" Kind of confused. How do you want to do this?
Pretty, just really rapid fire, like bam, 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 and then maybe that may have been a little too far.
Yeah. So as he lunges up toward you, you quickly, with one punch, hit the wrist and like knock the blade out of his hand. He goes, "Whoa!" And he looks back up at you. He still looks aggressive. So you pop another one into his chin, and he starts stumbling back a bit. You give another one into the chest, and he's like, "Oh!" And then one more into the top of the head to just knock him down. You didn't kill him, but boy, is he not in good shape. And he is down. He is down.
Okay. I will. Yep. There we go.
Okay. Otherwise, at the same time, Alistair, having put the illusion there, actually, you're not in a great place to notice. 6, you would see for sure over on a sort of small tower-like construction at the top of a similar house to what you are on the other side of the road. You see somebody pop up with a heavy crossbow. Aim over at a vague shape in the rain and fire his crossbow. Well, actually, first he needs to make the... Yeah, no. He fires his crossbow over at this vague shape in the rain, and you watch... As he scores a net... This would have hit this vague shape directly in the forehead, but it's just... because it's an illusion. And you see him look really confused and kind of angry. It starts reloading his crossbow bolt. Otherwise...
Alistair has to suppress a laugh.
Doran,
forehead hurts a little bit.
You see the man who you had firebolted on top of a roof now. He peers over a sort of an incline, like on part of the A-frame roof, giving himself a little cover. And you see his hand extend out toward you, and a familiar fiery essence starts to emit from it. And he is returning a firebolt.
At me?
Yeah.
He can see me?
You are invisible. He cannot see you. Well, he can certainly try, but he's going to have a real fucking hard... No way. Nope. Okay. So who would he fire at? I guess Alistair, because Alistair's the most kind of in the open there. You see him... You would see him look around, looking kind of angry, definitely looking for you. Not spotting you, fires at Alistair.
Do I see him?
Yeah.
Can I counterspell?
You can counterspell a firebolt if you want to.
Is that... Wait, that's a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
No, you're just going to take... Okay, well, let's see.
Yeah, I'll just take it. I'm a beast. Hold
That is a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And you are going to take...
I'm a squishy man.
5,000 damage. It was that was
It
actually
was a
lava.
fireball, idiot.
It was a lava ball.
You're going to, excuse me, take 9 damage, 9 fire damage as he looses a firebolt back at you and kind of ducks back behind cover a bit. And then finally, another one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. You guys see somebody else run kind of between these houses and disappears. With that, 6, it is your turn.
Okay, still reactionary. I say, "Oh, dude, don't." But he's already dead. So I turn around and I see this guy aiming or trying to reload his crossbow, and I go, "Oh, dude, don't!" And I run over here.
Oh, dude, don't! As he starts coming over to kill him.
And then I will punch him 2 times.
You know, I'd love to be like, well, you got to drop down here, and then you got to go up. This is like 15 feet high, and all. At this point, no, there's no point. There's no point. Yeah, you could easily get up there and just pop, pop.
Movement doesn't exist.
Movement doesn't exist for him.
And
Okay, an 18 and a 12. The 18 will just hit. 12
Okay.
will not.
Alright.
So you run up there as he's reloading his crossbow, and you go, dude, don't! And you bah into one of his right shoulder, and there's a crack. And he looks up, and you line up for a left hook, and as you swing with surprising speed, he maneuvers his head out of the way before you can pop him another one.
Copy.
Paste.
Bess, my girl. Are you
Anything
okay
else?
back there? You're okay. No, that's me.
Okay. Let's see then. The large orcish man is going to continue lumbering forward. 5, 10,
believe they're called
15, 20, 25, 30.
He might be a half.
No, he'll go 25 to
Then he could
here.
be an orc.
Not he probably won't see Doran. No, absolutely will not see Doran. So he moves like right up next to Doran pretty much, not knowing he's next to Doran, and pull back a javelin and yuck it over at Alistair because he's the most obvious target
God damn
still.
it.
Don't be in the open.
That's true.
That's a 16 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. From that, you're going to take 12 points of piercing damage as he throws a javelin over toward you. And you're able to move out of the way so it doesn't kill you, but it kind of grazes pretty rough against the side of your right arm and leaves a pretty nasty gash. You hear it clunk behind you somewhere, probably covered in your blood. Who else was in this group? That guy, but he's
Clunk is
gone.
covered in my blood. Damn.
I'm covered in your blood, Dad.
Oh.
He already went one. Okay. And then other things.
I'll slurp all of your blood up.
Okay. Bess, it is your turn.
Nice. I don't know what to do.
You see Alistair getting kind of beat up.
Yeah, I don't want to help.
Oh, thank God. Anything but Bass.
I mean, the person I wouldn't help is the one who got us into this mess.
The queen.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
You know,
Nope.
he's technically not wrong.
Let
I
me
mean-
look at how many spell slots I have left here. We gotta be careful.
You're right. The queen is the one who got us into the whole mess, but this particular mess we're in right now, this specific one.
Doran.
Oh yeah? You blame Dorn for this one? Not the motherfucker who goes, yeah, I'm 6. We're part of the Cloaked Rangers. You know, the ones people are hunting for? That's us.
I'm gonna blame them. They drew weapons.
He's got a point. He's got a point.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking...
What are you gonna do, Blake? What are you gonna fucking do?
I'm gonna do
I'm
things
gonna
to
cast a 4th level guiding bolt at the who's this guy again? You said an orcish fella?
Yeah, big, hefty, orcish fella.
Yeah,
Just
and
an orcish fella.
throw a guiding bolt, a 4th level guiding bolt at him.
It's just Orcish Fellow.
Nice.
Sure
The
thing.
Orcish Fellow was my dad.
Let's see if you still have the ridiculous, terrible rolls you were having last session.
Come on, Bess. Gilded block.
Hang on, let me check my modifier. Okay.
Make him wish he was dead by killing him.
Oh, a natural 20.
Wow, she certainly did.
Gilding blot my dad.
Yay!
Comp, a tiny banana, duration, all night long,
Also, I did
range,
check into
North
this,
Dakota.
and it's a good thing I just double checked. I was literally just now, because I remembered last session this came up. According to Wizards of the Coast, they did specifically word the nat 20 critical hit to work with spell attacks as well. So, Bess, whatever your spell damage does, you get to double it.
Really?
Because that's a nat 20. Yeah.
Damn.
It's going to be a hefty blast. So roll your damage. So whoever he's marked, he will have, whoever hits him next gets advantage, and you get to double your damage.
Okay. That's normal.
So
So
that's
that would be double that.
52 damage.
Oof.
I hope he's
Bess, how do you want to do this?
Explodes, Alice.
How do you want to do this, Bess?
I wanna throw it at him and hide again.
Okay, so you see this small girl kind of come around the corner, and an immense energy wraps around her arm, and she unleashes it toward this big brutish fellow. Alistair, you look over, you're like, oh, that was a whoa! Like you're kind of impressed. That was a powerful blast she just unleashed. And you look over at this orcish man, and it hits him, and you watch him start to glow like white hot, and he's just sitting there like he's electrified, stunned, and he slowly, with a boo, collapses onto his back. And you look back over, and this girl's kind of back, hiding, kind of crouched over behind the building again.
Dorian's sitting there going,
yeah. You want this happened literally right in front of you. So the blast like right in front of you.
yeah, Dorian goes,
Yeah, and you look over, and Alistair's just like, whoa, and Bess is gone.
Doran lightly kicks him with advantage. you okay, mister? As his foot like sinks into his chest. Like,
Do you actually want to kick him? I'll allow it.
No.
Okay.
I mean, if it's a free thing, just like without using action economy to see if he's alive.
I would say with the reaction, I'd let you.
Just to go, as my foot sinks in. Ah.
I'll allow you as a reaction if you'd like.
Yeah, sure.
Have you seen the
All right.
video?
I want to see if he's alive. 'Cause
You just kind of like you kick your foot in, let it sink in a little bit, and you hear him go. He's alive, barely. He's dying, and you just sped up the process.
I go,
Just want you guys to see Bucky right now. He's
good girl.
What a he's big chillin'. He's
He's
big
actually
chillin'.
fucking schmoovin'.
He's
You got
woogled,
some
dude.
edibles.
He's woogled.
He's straight woogled, dude.
He's woogling.
I don't like that.
He's
I
woogling
know,
out
I
here.
came up with that one.
It's all
Woogle
credit to
is my
Isaac.
mind.
Yep, it's real good, and I can't get over it. That cat is
He's like,
fucking
"Do you think
woogled.
it's smashed?" And he come down here, and I was like, "Nah, I'm looking to have a good time. Maybe get a little woogled."
And
thanks for letting me share. I just wanted to show you guys.
Yep. Yeah.
How many brownies did he eat?
How many pans did he think?
You know that novice mistake of, you have one, you don't feel it, and so you start having another, and you still don't feel it, then you have another, and before you know it, you're fucking in outer space. That's Bucky right now.
You only make that mistake once, at least.
Where am I?
Doran, I think it's your turn.
So I know there's a guy up.
Jason, that was fucking magnificent.
I didn't see it.
No, I'm clipping that for you. I'm clipping that for you. Holy shit, the
I'm-
camera.
Yeah.
I know there's a guy up here, right?
Up where?
Up here.
Yeah, you can still see him. You can. He's behind some cover, but he did just firebolt. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go 10, 5, 10, 15. What? Can I get? Is he still behind cover?
I'm gonna say you've reduced his cover with your positioning.
How about now?
It will be reduced still. He is up on the roof, so you're gonna have a harder time. But like, you've gotten away from looking at him from behind the A-frame, so like.
Can I get up here and get rid of his cover if I'm on this roof?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna climb up here. How much movement speed would that take me?
Well, because that corner is a little lower, I'd say you won't need to make any check. It's just gonna be like you could just literally jump up and pull yourself up, which will allow it for 10 movement.
Get 10,
Mm-hmm.
then 15.
Actually, first you're gonna take an opportunity, or not an opportunity, an attack from this guy's ready to action. As
He
he
can't
had.
see me.
I keep forgetting you're invisible. I keep fucking forgetting you're invisible. Let's see if he can see you. Hold on. What's your what's the to see invisibility? Anything the target is wearing is invisible as long as it. Are there any rules for roles to see somebody who's invisible?
Where am I?
I haven't made a stealth check. If you want me to make a stealth check, I'd have advantage.
Yeah, let's just do it that way, cause he rolled pretty high on a crazy perception check. Yeah.
21 then.
Because you are in the rain. 21? That matches his roll. So I think see, D&D is weird because sometimes defense has advantage and sometimes attack has advantage. Because I forgot, I'm just gonna say no, he doesn't see you. I'm gonna say no, he doesn't see you. You see, actually, as you climb up, you notice he's kind of looking over in your direction. He notices some weird disturbance, like on the roof and in the rain. But you can tell he doesn't quite understand you're there. He's just, you got his attention, and now you can see him up there. So you would have seen him anywhere.
I'm gonna move to like I want to get behind him. So like where he's facing the other. Is he like on the edge?
Yeah, pretty much. It looks like he was getting ready to jump down and attack. He had a ready action to jump down and attack.
Okay. I'm gonna get like right behind him.
Yep.
What can I do?
Sparta kick. Invisibly Sparta kick.
Yeah, but I'll lose my invisibility.
It'd be fucking cool, though.
Yeah, it'd be really
Just
cool.
blow on the back of his head. Maybe he'll fall over.
Nice.
Maybe he's Paper Mario. Whoa!
He hits the ground, just blinks out of existence. Shit, it's a Pac-Man.
I'm gonna move a little bit farther away. So that'd be 10, 15, 20.
Yep.
25. Alright, let's see about this.
What you doing?
I'm gonna use a sorcery point,
Okay.
and I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt and twin spell it into both of the motherfuckers.
So you're just gonna extend both your hands around you. Okay.
I'm just gonna go.
Like you're gonna Naruto this. Yeah.
Hoping the best.
Let's see it. I was gonna ask if you need to make 2 rolls. Doesn't matter. Both of those would hit either of them.
Wow.
First one's the guy on the roof near me, and then the other guy.
Okay, and you are no longer invisible then?
Yep, I lose my invisibility to go.
Yeah, both of those are gonna hit. As you extend your hands and following Bess's lead, launch 2 guiding bolts. Despite this guy's cover, you hit him like square in the chest, and he falls back a bit over on the other roof. He is looking really not great, and he kind of falls back and lands prone. He like falls prone on the roof, and it looks like, actually, you can't see what he's gonna be doing now. But the other one. Also takes the blast. He's going to make a quick deck because he was literally on the edge, like ready to jump off. I'm just going to give him a somewhat easy dex check to not fall off the roof. And that's in that one. Okay, so he's going to fall off the roof. Okay, and he's going to take that damage as well. And he's also going to fall off. With a thud, he crashes into the ground. He's going to take that fall damage, which is not a lot. He seems rather nimble.
Can I still see this guy then?
Barely. Barely.
Barely. Okay,
Yeah.
so if I move here, can I see him better?
I get like slightly, but he's prone on the A-frame roof now. So you can see movement as it looks like maybe he's crawling away or something. But yeah, you can see him, but you don't have a great shot.
Then I'm gonna come over to here.
That'd probably be your best vantage point, other than like the corner where you jumped up on.
So you said bandage point. I was like, what?
Is this guy prone?
No, he seems rather he landed with a soft crack in his ankle.
Cool. I'm gonna use 2 more sorcery points to quicken spell Firebolt, which
Oh,
has
Jesus
advantage
Christ.
because I hit him with Guiding Bolt.
Yes, it does. It's kind of
I
fucked
don't
up.
know if I'm gonna need it. I did. I'm at 20. So I just walk over to the edge and go.
Oh,
She load up like a goddamn.
and we're taking the first. We're taking the first damage too because you
Yeah.
just rolled with advantage basically. So it's a nat 20 for 24 fire damage, double to 48. How do you want to do this?
I just want to blow his head off.
Okay, so as he kind of lands, he looks really shocked, like what the hell just happened. He's kind of gripping his chest and shoulder area where you hit him, and he looks up just in time to see you launch a very powerful firebolt down at him, and his face is a blackened, charred mess as he collapses to the ground.
I'm out of movement speed. And
Oof.
I go, oh.
So, Alistair, there's just absolute carnage all around you. What will you do now?
I am going to bonus action Misty Step. Let me cast it.
I hope he's okay.
Right here.
Okay.
And
You see this
I'm
man? He looks
going-
like he's trying to crawl away. He looks not good.
Oh, the one on the roof isn't good?
Oh yeah, he is not good.
Oh. I'm
Well
gonna push him
bloodied.
off.
You're just gonna kick him off?
Yep.
You have advantage on this. Roll an unarmed strike.
I'd like to get down like they do in the Call of Duty game when they're talking to you and then they betray you.
Yeah.
And I just kind of look at him and go, "Shouldn't have messed with us, buddy."
The game was rigged from the start.
Yeah. Alright, what am I rolling?
Ka-ping!
What am I rolling?
And an unarmed strike with advantage.
You might think this is 18 on a bad luck. The truth is, the game was rigged from the
Okay,
start.
so one owie. Only one owie, but it's a 21. That'll certainly do it. As you shouldn't have messed with us, buddy. You grab him by the collar and you just shove him off as you kind of kneel down. You throw him off the side of the building, and he looks panicked. He's freaking out, and as he falls, you hear a crack as he lands on the ground. Yeah, nope, okay. Bess, you see this man land on the ground directly on his head as a pool of blood starts to form around his head and is being immediately dissipated by the heavy rain. He's gone.
Nice.
All that leaves is this guy, let's see.
Guy in a fist fight with 6.
Yeah, I just need to check which, yes, okay, it is his turn. I'm going to quick make a check to see if he notices all the carnage happening around. I don't know if he'd had a go. No, he does not notice. As far as he's aware, the battle is raging on. Everything's going as planned. So he's going to, after you gave him a good bop, he's going to draw his, he just drops the crossbow, draws 2 short swords, and is going to unleash his own attacks upon you. 6.
Well, sir.
That'll be a nat 20 for the first one.
Ow.
Only an 11 for the second.
No.
And a dirty 20 for the third. I think that just hits. Okay, so we got a nat 20 and a dirty 20. Okay. The first strike is going to, you lucky bastard, do 17 slashing damage to you. Second one is going to be only 7. So you're going to take 24, I believe, slashing damage as he unleashes the first one very quickly. He seems very confident. He looks like he feigns like a slashing attack and does a quick jab with the other hand, and cuts into your side. Whoa! And with that, you understand he's quick now. So as the second one actually comes down, the feign comes down as an actual slash. You're able to move out of the way. But then with the third one, he hits you with the pommel square in the forehead, and it's a pretty severe blow. And you're kind of little shocked at the speed of this guy. But it is your turn.
I kind of blink a couple of times, shake my head. I look him square in the eye. I slowly cock back a fist and I kick him 4 times.
This is quite a battle up here, up in the storm on a raised platform away from everybody else. This is great.
Yes, indeed.
We're all sitting down going, "Where's 6?"
Yeah. So that's a hit, a miss on the third, but a hit on the fourth for a total of 23, 35 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. You unleash a quick flurry. You bring back your fist and you kind of using his own trick. You see him like get ready for that, and immediately the first thing out of nowhere, a foot right to his gut. And he looks at first like that was painful, but he also like looks up and like there's a brief moment where you lock eyes and you can tell he's just impressed. And as he's kind of reeling from this, you take that opportunity for the next kick from the other foot to no, same foot actually. It's just one leg up. You get him in the forehead and knock him back a bit, and he hits the wall, the low wall behind him. And with that, you take that opportunity to lunge forward and knee him right in the chest. And he's well bloodied. He's not doing good.
Okay. That's me.
Bess, I guess you don't know what's going on up there. Is there anything else you'd be doing?
I am gonna go to be over here.
Okay.
I'll be right there. That's where I'm gonna be. I'm gonna kind of try to be crouching and hiding a little bit too.
Okay. You look around. You don't see any combatants immediately around you. You think you might vaguely, through the rain, hear the sounds of fighting, but you can't quite tell. So you stay put. Doran, anything? You actually, from your rooftop vantage, would probably, if you looked around quickly, survey the field, you would see Six up at having this actually rather impressive fight on this little terrace.
Can I see the other guy?
Yeah, barely. The rain is obscuring things a lot, but you can tell Six is fighting somebody, and it's a good fight.
What is the shortest distance on this building top to the other one?
It would be about 10 feet.
Okay, my strength score is 11. Can I make that long jump?
Just barely if you get the running start, but yeah.
I'm fucking doing it.
Okay.
I'm fucking sprinting and jumping.
Yep.
It's gonna take all my movement speed, and my action to get over there. But
Yeah.
do my turn.
Yeah. You can do it.
So 5, 10, 15. So I jump. How much movement speed is that gonna take off me?
That's a really good question, actually. I would just assume like the actual movement that you went, so 10 feet ish. So I will just say 25 because I don't know. Yeah.
30. Can I see him better now?
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, they're raised a little bit up there, but you can see from like their waists up, you can see them fighting up there, and it looks like Six certainly has the advantage.
Okay, can I get a firebolt shot on him?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
On
just
me?
go- Not you. I don't.
On Six.
No, the other guy. I just want to throw a firebolt at him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Six, you're up there. You exchange these few blows with him, and as you knee him, and he spits out a little blood. As you knee him in the chest, you get back, you get ready, because you can tell he's got more fight in him. He drops one sword, and he brings the other one up, and he says, "Finally, a worthy." as his head is just blown to smithereens by a firebolt, and he collapses to the ground.
You see the word who just fucking jumped from building to building and looks fucking terrified that he did that. Go.
Yeah, you look over, you
Six
just
looks
see
back.
Darren like shaking, had 2 thumbs up.
Six looks back and just goes, "Dude!"
I jumped a building.
That was awesome.
Right then, with
That's an
that,
area.
yeah, and with that, as far as you guys are aware, you're in the clear for the moment, but you're still right outside of the New Republic hideout. So,
Let's keep fucking moving.
Yeah,
I give
we're
Six a little
passing by.
smack on the back of the head.
Should we like just pile these corpses by the door? Because that might be funny.
Do we have enough corpses to spell 6? VI.
You only need 3.
if you're really
technically.
creative,
Don't
That's
really?
okay. We don't need to play with the corpses.
One for the 2 for the V, 2 for the I.
Yeah, not bad. But I was more or less kidding. I don't think we need to. I think it's fine.
Dorn goes, we could easily just say put 6 and leave and leave a point.
Six was here.
I need everyone to roll me a d6.
It's okay. Oh,
And we start
like
to
a
move.
G6.
All right, a 4, a 1, a 6,
Oh. A 6 from 6.
and a 4.
Ah,
Okay.
I've never heard that one before.
All right. So, what are you guys doing as you quickly kind of reassemble back below on the streets?
As I nearly fall. I want to make it for flavor as I crawl down. I lose my grip and just tumble to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh. Just that little-
It's real wet. It's real slippery. You just just kind of land on your butt. Oh god. damn it.
As I say to Alistair, I made a jump from building to building. He goes, I didn't see it. No one ever believes me.
I believe you.
So
In
yeah,
any
just
case,
gracefully jumped onto this can.
Let's keep moving.
6 takes the smack in the back of the head and goes, "Okay, yeah, let's just keep walking quietly."
We're just travelers. We're not who we actually are. Lying should work for us in this.
That makes sense. That makes more sense.
As we keep moving.
Right. As you guys move on past the fucking hell, the New Republic.
The Cloak Republic.
I
No,
can't- the
Republic
cloaks-
Rangers. Shit.
The new Rangers.
The new cloaked Republic Rangers.
Go Power Rangers.
Oh, I forgot about that. Go cloaked rangers. That has been a while. As you
Been a
guys
little
move
dire
on, as you guys move on,
How many arrows have we moved through?
1, 2, 3. You are on arrow number 4.
Huh.
All
It's a
right.
good measuring system.
That is actually, yeah, that's not bad. You know, if you keep up the same pace as before, you'll be upon ground zero within an hour. But if you want to keep it at a slower or normal pace by now, it won't be too much longer. You know you're close-ish. How do you want to do this?
As Adam Sandler once said in his song by the title, let's keep it at a medium pace.
Okay.
I'll go with the medium pace. Never heard that song.
Don't listen to it. It is horrible. It talks about shoving a shampoo bottle up his ass at a medium pace.
Good.
Wow.
Same.
I could've lived the
How
rest of my
relatable.
life
6,
without
can
that
you make a
knowledge.
perception check for me? I assume you are leading
I
still?
certainly can do that.
Yeah.
I would continue to lead. Oops.
We'll take
Sorry.
the first. It's fine.
Just take-
A
yeah,
nat
just take the
20.
first one.
Yeah, we'll take the first. Yeah.
I think we should take the second.
With a nat 20. Okay, this is good. This is actually great. As you approach,
It's good.
within at just about an hour's mark, you would guess. Just as you can tell, as the storm is still raging. It is just beginning. Well, actually, let me roll for that. Okay, yeah, no,
The
it's
sun is
just
raging.
the storm is just beginning to subside, but it's still like you can hear thunder and see lightning off in the distance. But it seems the worst of it is past, but there's still heavy rain bombarding the area. That makes it harder to see and harder to hear, but you kind of that feeling of being washed that you always have in the city starts to subside as the lightning does as well. And with a nat 20, you get the idea that even the rats avoid this area. As you begin, as the disheveled and unmaintained buildings start to blend into actually collapsed and destroyed buildings, and within about 40 minutes, as you're approaching ground zero, you're just surrounded by rubble and destruction. It is no longer a city; it is a graveyard. There are remnants of people's lives. There are unexplainable blood splatters and other things you'd probably rather not dwell on. As you move forward, you can see through the heavy rain up ahead. Thus far, the hysterium haze has been rather light, rather held back by the rain. But up ahead, you can see a dim purple glow, and it's massive. And to Six and Dorn in particular, it's almost seems to be calling you. It seems like you're heading the right way. You know you're heading the right way. This is the right course, definitely.
Thank you so much. You okay?
And Six, with a nat 20, you can tell you're now about 5 minutes away from what you would call ground zero. And
Okay.
you're quite certain there's just the air is dead around you. There is nothing living around here. And actually, Bess and Alistair already, as you're entering the more hazy area, even with the rain, you're having you're not having trouble breathing, but it's like when you have like you're really congested, or you got a really sore throat. It's just like a little uncomfortable to breathe deeply. You're already getting that. You're not enjoying this. Doran and Six, you're not quite feeling this, especially not Doran, but once you continue from here, you will be entering ground zero. Are there any preparations? Is there anything you guys would like to do? Six, you're quite certain with a nat 20, there's nothing around you. Nothing would dare to venture into here, even in Direwood.
I believe we are completely alone here.
I'd like to take a long rest.
I vote we suffocate Alistair with a pillow.
I also vote that, but just until I don't breathe anymore. And
What
then
about
bring me
the
back.
hysterium pillow?
A hillow, if you will.
It's not as kinky.
A hillow for the
Should
him.
Alistair and I hang back while you guys get the hysterium?
I would like, honestly, you guys to be within eyesight.
Yeah. Okay.
I say we go until you can't breathe any longer. Then I trek further.
We only have the one flare gun with us at this point, right? I know we joked and laughed about stealing the only 3 that were left in shine bright, but I don't think we ended up doing that. We just have the one gun.
That's a good question. I mean, I know you guys as a part, you have at least one on you, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's up to your guys' inventory to keep track of. I wouldn't know exactly how many you have.
Okay. I have the one. I hand it to Bess. And I say there's a red flare in here. Just
Okay.
in case.
Shoot it at me. Just whenever.
Boom. All right. We progress forward.
Okay. You guys officially enter Ground Zero for the first time.
Since 1984, the year of Reagan.
You know, I really didn't think it would take us this long into the campaign to come here, but here we are.
You made it scary.
Sorry,
Those
that was
facts.
that was the wrong music. Yep, sorry, there we go.
Bucky's
then you
laying
did
right
make it
next to
scary.
me.
This is the right
Bucky's
one.
laying right next to me, and he farted. So
Very
Good
good.
luck.
thanks.
So,
If
as you
sneeze
guys-
during the video, bless you.
you can see as you progress forward, as you get ready,
He was too relaxed.
you can see as you walk further into this area, there is actually a very stark line where you can tell, almost as if it is one massive bubble, where within Ground Zero, like, it actually starts. Because you can see as you start walking further, and the hysterium haze starts getting thicker and thicker, on the ground you start to notice around you there's a almost like a crack in the ground, almost like somebody just took a glowing purple ink pen and drew it on the ground, and it's almost looks like veins of glowing purple that just like a lightning scar etch across the ground. You all kind of give a look to each other, push forward. So, the way this is going to go, as you first enter, firstly, the moment you cross that threshold into the Ground Zero proper, beyond this threshold of these purple veined lines etched across the ground, that feeling of emptiness and being alone and nothing daring to venture into here vanishes, and suddenly once again you feel as if you were being watched. But it's not the same as the rats. This is more eerie. This is more mind's eye being watched. It's an uncomfortable feeling for most. You feel as though there's a presence right behind you, and every now and then one of you might catch yourself kind of just checking back behind your shoulder like you swear somebody was there. And you feel like maybe you saw a shadow 10 feet that way, but the moment you call attention to it, it's gone. As you guys push forward, I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw to start. Whoop!
Sorry, that's my OnlyFans notifications.
That someone liked your content, or that
And I don't
someone
have
you
it.
like uploaded content?
People are subscribing all the time, Jason.
Oh.
I'm very popular.
I should have mentioned, for the purposes of these Constitution saving throws, Doran, whatever you get a +6 too. So Doran, your total is 35.
I'm a god.
Hey, and 6.
No breathing, gang.
6, you get a +4 on top of whatever you rolled. So you will get a 13 for this one. So we have a 35, 5, 5, and 13. Immediately, as you guys begin to walk in, Doran, you feel comfortable. You feel great. You feel energized. You feel at home.
It's like a 5-hour energy.
Yeah, you feel like you just kind of, after all this
You did
fighting,
have
this
a
long
VA.
day, it's not quite dark, but like it's dim in here because of the thick hysterium glow. It's like you woke up at 5 a.m. and you're just horrendously tired, and you have that first cup of coffee, and it's just like, oh, you just feel kind of nice. Oh, you don't? Okay, but it feels nice.
Why?
Alistair, Bess, and Six, on the other hand, all of
Me and
you
Bess are part of the no breathing gang.
not having trouble breathing just yet, but you can tell that you are breathing this into you, and it's not pleasant. It's like breathing, you ever had, breathed in helium for the high, haha, and it's just like breathing in the helium is just like a little weird. It's a little different. it just feels a little weird breathing this in. But all of you start to get a headache. It's just like at the very center of your forehead. It just starts to hurt a little bit. It's not pleasant. You're not hurt. You're not suffering any ill effects yet, but you can tell it's starting to get to you already.
Okay.
Great. Next. Who is leading this expedition forward now?
Me.
Doran, naturally. Doran, I
like
need...
when you sit in front of a fire and the wind exposes a little bit of smoke into your face.
And then you move and it follows you because you're sexy?
Yeah.
What did you want?
Nope, not the last part.
Doran, for the next part of this trek, as you guys continue forward, and you still feel as though you're being followed, watched, surrounded, it's eerie and not doing it. Except for you, Doran, you feel this, but it's not as eerie or disconcerting. It's more familiar. Again,
Yeah, I would have ignored it or like nodded at the comfortability and said hello and bowed when we walked into ground zero.
you say hello out loud and bow.
Yes.
Roll a perception check with advantage.
I would have recognized the second we walked past into actual ground zero, I'd recognize it as a holy ground and treat it as such.
Okay.
Knowing what I know and being in close contact with Doran there, I would follow his lead and also submit. But, genuflect.
Okay.
Curtsy, yeah.
Okay.
If I do see anything like, while trying to keep a direct path, if I see like any noticeable garbage or anything I would consider desecration, I will do my best to clean it. Just, again, treating it as holy ground.
Well, desecration is everywhere. This was once the center of a city. There is rubble and debris everywhere.
Doing my best to clean it while still moving quickly. Like, just picking up biggest pieces. Like, I'm trying to be as respectful as possible as Doran himself feels this to be holy ground.
I understand your intent. Okay. With that, with a 20 on perception and given your actions, as you guys continue your trek into ground zero, as some of you are starting to feel rather uncomfortable, Doran, you bow and you say hello and you move forward. And shortly after, Six, looking maybe a little suspicious, he seems to... You have a feeling... You should look back. You look back at Six and you see him genuflect a little bit. And you guys continue moving forward. And with that, Doran, you notice... Or all of you hear a sort of... like a whisper, like a bated breath. And you all kind of stop for a moment and look around. And Doran, as you look back in front of you, similarly to how in the rain when you're invisible, you just create this very, very vague outline from the rain. You see a very vague humanoid outline in the fog in front of you, almost as if it is a humanoid-shaped force field very gently pushing away the haze. And it genuflects back, turns around, and begins, and it says, "This way."
I follow. I bow first and then follow.
And you follow this. With that,
Six swallows hard and follows Doran.
yeah, with that, you will take... the way this is working is you have a certain number of rounds you need to survive to get to where you need to go. And with that, I will tell you, you have subtracted 1 round from your total rounds you need to make it. Eventually, as you continue forward following this very slowly, but like almost you don't even notice, you think, oh, maybe you're having a harder time seeing it or it's getting away from you. Eventually, you blink a couple times and the shape is gone, but it has led you in the right direction. You guys continue forward. I need everyone to make another con save.
At that, once I notice it vanish, I will say, "Thank you, my lord," and keep moving. So.
Okay.
And then you said I had a +5.
Doran, for the sake of these checks, you have a +6.
+6.
+6 on top of your normal modifier, and 6, you get a +4 on top of your normal mod. Best with a 4, Doran with despite a nat 1 with a 13.
I have a high constitution.
Alistair 12, 6, 14. Okay. None of you succeed on this one. Doran,
Sorcerer.
I need to keep track of who all is on what's tier here. Doran, now the headache starts to hit you. It's not comfortable, but you understand that this is just a natural property of the hysterium, and you can push through it. It's just like a mild, not fun headache, but it's starting to get to you even. Whereas Bess, Alistair, and Six, you all, the headache starts to really get a hold of your head, and you're starting to feel a little nauseous and woozy. You're just not good. Still no actual mechanical ill effects yet, but you have a feeling if you continue suffering this way, you're going to start having some actual ill effects. You're not none of you are feeling well.
Gotcha.
Except for Doran. Doran's just got the headache now.
If you need to head back, I can take this charge.
I'm okay for now. It's starting to get to me, but I'll be able to function.
Okay. As you all decide to continue pushing through, for a moment, as you continue, hopefully in the direction that you're supposed to be going, there's a moment where the haze starts to break up just a little bit, and you start to notice crystals forming on the ground. There's a slight clearing here where there are massive piles of rubble that were once maybe buildings or something along those lines. It's hard to tell because they're kind of neatly piled, and they're giant shards. There are shards ranging from maybe baseball size, or I'm sorry, bossy ball sized, to 3 times the size of any of. Yeah.
I'm
Wait, what
sorry,
the fuck
wait.
is bossy
Bossy ball?
Bossy ball.
It was a reference to our campaign we're playing in.
'Cause
When,
I know
It's Blake's joke from a long time ago. Sorry.
The other character, his old
Old character. Yeah, I was.
did-
Sorry, I thought
Yep.
you were stupid.
No,
Yeah,
no.
my bad.
It was a
I like,
really.
wait a second,
It was a. That was a.
bossy
That
ball
was.
is a staple in my
Yeah,
household.
that was quite a reach. That was quite a pull I just made. I shouldn't have expected it to go so well. But yeah.
We're all stupid.
Some of
Can you-
these crystals around you, again, are about the size of a baseball, or ranging from that to the size of a small. For lack of a better way, obviously these don't exist in game, but like the size of a small car. There are massive crystals around you, and again, they're kind of centered and piling around these somewhat neat piles of rubble, as well as, and you guys came from this direction. Doran was leading. I believe 6 right behind, and then Bess and Alistair. As well as ahead of you, you notice a large, somewhat neat pile of corpses. A mound of corpses, in fact.
Are we talking 30, 40?
I mean, just from eyeballing it, looking here, I mean, just from what you can see, you could probably just kind of point out at least a couple dozen. And that's piled on top of something. If there's just more corpses underneath these, it could be as many as 50 corpses in this pile here on this map I've just put us on. How would you guys like to proceed?
Do the crystals look anything like what we're looking for?
No, they do look like quote-unquote normal hysterium crystals. These do not look like the hexagonal shapes that you are looking for. Make a perception check, though. And all of you can if you'd like, if you're looking for the crystal.
I'd like to investigate the pile of bodies.
Okay.
I would try to raise my hand to stop him.
Oh, not to desecrate, just to investigate.
I'm
desecrate,
not
just
saying
investigate.
you're desecrating. I'm saying we don't exactly know what caused the bodies. This seems to be more of a dead zone. Nothing's here. I say we should be not touching things.
Fine. I won't
Good.
investigate the bodies.
We won't. Oh,
But I will perception check.
Okay. I do not see your... Oh, there it is. Okay. Bess, would you like to roll one as well, or are you just following the party?
I'm working on getting my perception.
Okay.
Here.
Okay,
Alistair,
okay.
can you scan one of them without like
Nope,
touching them?
I have
or
to be
whatever?
touching.
As you all look around, in 11, 6, did you just accidentally roll twice?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay, 11, 10, 22, 22. Bess and Alistair, well, the other two are sort of distracted leading, and maybe perhaps distracted by the perplexing nature of this area. You two start looking around more carefully at some of the crystals, and you do notice Some of the crystals are abnormal. Usually they're shards, they're jagged, they're random, they're crystalline. Some of these around here, what was described to you as to what you had to find was perfectly hexagonal, smooth, non-glowing crystal. All of these are glowing, but some of these are a little more neat, less jagged and randomized, and more shaped with certain protrusions that almost look like sword blades, with slightly more circular bases. You get the feeling with your combined 22s, you get the feeling you are headed in the right direction, and some of these might be early descendants from the original stone. You think you're on the right path, but these are not quite it.
I'd relay that.
Wow. Okay.
And we keep moving. I say we don't touch anything for our own honest safety. Because I don't feel as though fighting anything is going to bode well.
You see Six hungrily eye a wagon wheel and go, okay.
Okay. With that, as Dorn urges all of you not to touch anything, as you continue forward, just moving carefully around the pile of corpses, vaguely in the direction you believe you should be headed. I need everybody to roll another con save.
I would also like to move a little more carefully now that I see that we might not. Something might have killed something.
Got it. Damn,
These are
Bess,
going-
you are not having good rolls on these con saves.
I've had a 5, a 4, and now a 3.
Ugh. The dice have spoken for all. The
25.
dice are speaking tonight. God damn. Okay. Doran, you've just made the DC. You still have the headache. The headache's growing a little stronger. It's starting to really kind of bother you, but you're okay. You know you can keep going. You're okay. The rest of you with a 9, 3, and 14. The rest of you, the nausea starts to subside a little bit and turns to exhaustion. And you can feel your body fighting off whatever is happening to you. You all now effectively have level 1 exhaustion. Disadvantage on ability checks.
Oh, good.
And as you're all kind of feeling this and moving forward, we'll keep those perception checks. Bess and Alistair, you two notice. Just as you're passing by and Doran urges you guys to move carefully and not touch anything, you two glance once more over at the pile of corpses. You notice two things. Firstly, this explosion happened 15 years ago. Almost 16 now. Like 15 and a half or so.
Yeah, those
These-
are fresh.
Those corpses do not look that old.
Oh, fresh. I thought they were preserved. That's not a good thing.
They could be preserved. They could be fresh. You can't tell from this distance unless you want to get up close and investigate. However, as you're noticing this, you also ever so slightly see a shift, a movement within the pile, and one body just kind of flops down and lands at the edge of the pile.
Is he okay?
Can we leave? Let's keep going.
I say we keep going. I would say let's move a little quicker.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys decide nope, and you continue moving more quickly out of this area. Okay. So, goodbye to that. Encounter. Okay. Moving forward.
No, fuck you, Holden.
No, you guys made the right calls. As you continue forward in Ground Zero,
Also known as ground -1.
yeah, as you leave that area, the hysterium haze. Before it was quite thick. You maybe had visibility up to 15 feet in front of you. It's thicker all of a sudden as you leave this area where it kind of dissipated a little bit and you could see a bit more clearly. And now you got maybe 10 feet visibility in front of you. You guys continue pushing forward. You think... Let's see. Who's leading? Doran, are you still leading?
Yep.
Make a perception check. And make a religion check. Both, please.
Ugh.
Okay. With a 10, you can't tell much. You still all feel that sort of, Dorn in particular, that something around you, be it spirits or creatures or just a presence of some kind, the hysterium itself somehow, whatever it is, there's something still all around you. Dorn with an 11 on religion as well, as you continue pushing forward in the direction you think you're supposed to go. You feel the sudden urge to touch the gem on your chest, so you do. And you feel as though you're getting close. You feel almost a warmth, a burning. It's not an uncomfortable burning. It's like when you first touch a heated, like, electric blanket. It's like, ooh, that's hot, but then you let it settle and it's nice. Or like a hot tub. It's just like, ooh, okay, yeah. It's a little uncomfortable, but you can't quite tell what to make of this feeling, but you think you're close. As we push into the next step, I need everybody to make another Constitution save.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside. Oh my god.
Wow. Okay. Alistair with a 16. Alistair, you
Can I
continue.
try purifying the air with prestidigitation before it comes into my lungs? Just once.
Yeah, you can try just once. You give a you give a quick prestidigitation, and you are able to kind of
Clear it up a
normally,
bit.
well, not exactly clear up. It's peculiar. Normally, blood or any other thing that could be considered, dirt, soil, dirty, you're able to kind of choose to get rid of it, or disperse it enough that like you can't tell it's there. Molecules. With the hysterium haze, you're able to push it away. You are able to kind of clear the path in front of your mouth for just a moment and have like one very brief moment of quote-unquote fresh air, but it's not quite. But it's not quite enough to negate the effects.
Gotcha.
It did kind of... It was interesting, and I'm sure for Alistair, for the kind of person Alistair is, it was a very, like, scientific, like, oh, this is, huh. And you maybe do it a couple more times, but it's not really going to help. It might make you just feel a little better, but it won't help.
Could I tell if he shares with that if given time he could prestidigitation a space and get it clear enough that he could buy some time?
Sorry, I meant to say before I pressed the digitation, I would have out loud said, no disrespect to you. I'm just trying not to die. And then done it.
And then you do it, and then Doran actually goes along and asks if maybe you think you could do that. What is the actual area you can affect with prestidigitation? Isn't it one square foot?
I think it's...
Or 1 cubic foot?
Let me check. It is... where is it?
It'll be in your cantrips.
There it is. It says a range of 10 feet.
Okay, but hold on.
No larger than 1 cubic foot.
1 cubic foot. That's what we're looking for. There we go. Okay, so yeah, with that. Oh, did we lose
Be
someone?
gone.
Who'd we lose? Blake? Oh, is Discord doing that thing? Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back.
Hi, welcome.
Alistair, knowing your arcane capabilities, you think if you were able to contain an area and give enough time, you could probably, quote-unquote, clear it, or you could at least make it more bearable. You could slow the effects, but it seems that you can't actually get rid of the hysterium with prestidigitation. You can just push it off, disperse it more.
Gotcha.
So theoretically, if I made, I can't help with prestidigitation once I do this.
What?
Actually, I could. My wall of force, I could technically make a hemisphere up to 10 feet smaller. I could make a small hemisphere that we all could fit in for up to 10 minutes. Me and you use prestidigitation, clear the air. We have 10 minutes. We can breathe.
Yes, but I feel like it's a huge waste of magic.
But it gives us a time to breathe and maybe could slow your effects before we keep traveling.
I think it'd be more efficient to just keep going forward.
As this
Because
conversation,
regardless, as soon as we come out of that, we're just gonna get back into it.
as this conversation is happening, so Alistair, with your 16, You still feel exhausted, but you feel like maybe with your prestidigitation, maybe just your will, you're able to stave off any further effects for the moment. Bess, you're not feeling good, and the exhaustion is starting to really hit you. Your body is not reacting well to this. Your speed is now halved.
Six approaches, and
Doran,
gently asks, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, we can keep going.
Doran, for you now the nausea is starting to set in a bit. And for 6, you are also able to stave off the next level. You just have disadvantage on ability checks. Your speed is not halved yet.
Copy.
I'd like to make a super heavy makeshift scarf with whatever clothing I have on, like completely inhibiting, like layers of clothing, not inhibiting my breathing, but inhibiting it enough so that nobody can hear me talk if I were to talk.
Okay, so
This is the face mask zone.
you're just
don't
gonna
have a face
like
mask?
quintuple mask yourself as best you can.
Yeah.
You're not sure how much that'll help, but maybe it makes you feel better. It might help. You actually don't know.
I would like to then not use my voice anymore. I'd like to speak telepathically,
From now on, Alistair speaking telepathically. Okay.
using my breathing as little as possible.
Okay. At this point, you guys continue pushing forward, thinking it'd be best not to waste your resources and get this done as quickly as possible. Doran, the gem in your chest begins to burn hotter, and now it is actually a little uncomfortable.
Yep.
But you guys continue pushing forward. And as you do so, Doran, at this point, it's not fun, but you feel as though your chest, it's almost a beacon. And you're kind of playing a game of hot and cold with wherever you're headed. You kind of like you can feel yourself start to drift the party right, and the gem gets a little colder, and so you turn back left and it gets a little warmer, and you're using this almost as a beacon now to try to keep track of where you're headed. Bess is visibly sluggish. Everybody else is not doing too hot. As you guys continue and start, actually at this point now, as you 6, you're quite sure you're getting close now because you can feel every tattoo on your body start to just warm up a little bit. It's just enough to be like a little uncomfortable. You start to sweat.
I ask Doran, "Do you feel that?"
Yes, I do, but my concern is getting back.
Yeah.
You guys could easily start heading back.
I think it might not be a bad idea for Alistair and Bess. Someone needs to retrieve help if we don't come back. Someone needs to fire off a flare so the rangers come.
I will take Bess back. When I get there, I will use my spell and follow you with my illusory clone. I'll be able to update Bess
Oh.
as we go along, and I will have her fire a flare if necessary.
Very good call. Is that okay with you, Bess?
Yes, just be careful.
We will.
We'll be careful.
I just don't want you to die. This seems, of all the ways a hero could die, I think this would be very anticlimactic. Of all the ways that we could have died on our journeys, I would hate for it to be this.
He slaughtered dragons, went toe-to-toe with demigods, and fell off a bridge.
Slipped on a banana peel in his fucking kitchen and hit his head on the corner of his countertop.
I'm gonna cast Longstrider thrice.
Can you what?
Stack 'em.
Can you stack
Wait,
them?
hold on. No, but if I cast it with a spell slot of 2nd or higher, you can target one additional creature. So I'm gonna use a 4th level, give all of us Longstrider.
Okay. All of us, as in all of who?
All 4 of the party.
Oh, so you can target 3 additional if you casted a 4th. Okay, I see.
Yep.
So you give everybody an extra 10 feet. So, Bess, you feel this magical energy take over you, and though your body is exhausted, almost as if by arcane means, like there's an extra force just pushing you forward a bit, or backward now, as you and Alistair apparently head back. And Alistair, you're gonna bring an illusionary clone with them?
Once we get out, yeah.
Once you
Wherever
get
the
out.
clone is, I can't have my body.
Okay.
Or basically, if I use it here, then my body, I can see in here through my clone.
So you're gonna have the clone try and catch up.
Actually, let me check on it real quick.
Old MacDonald killed a man.
How long have we been walking?
It's hard to tell with the ill effects you suffered. Your perception of time is a little fuzzy, but you'd wager anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes, maybe. It's been a minute.
Actually, it's been 30 to 50.
Okay.
Ground zero is quite large.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it when we get back to the entrance.
Okay.
Whoa.
So, Bess and Alistair. Alistair blesses you all with a long strider very quickly to give you guys a bit more strength to push forward more quickly. And Bess and Alistair stick close together and start making their way back. Now the party splits. As we push into the next section, then I need everybody to make another Constitution saving throw.
Including me and Bess?
Yes. You guys have a ways to go back.
Okay, much.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Clara, your dice hate you tonight. Okay. Alistair with
At
a
least I
21.
killed that one guy.
You did.
Spot on.
Alistair, you were able to stave off the effects for a bit longer, driven by your will to keep Bess alive and ensure the success of your party. Doran, you are also able to stave off any further ill effects. You're still just kind of nauseous, feeling not great. Bess, on the other hand, you are now
Carrier.
you are now becoming a little. Roll a d4 for me, Bess.
3 21s and a 2.
Yeah.
4. Okay. You start to feel your mind drift away from you. You start to feel a little fuzzy and confused for a moment. You just quickly shake it off, and bless you.
Thank you.
You feel
That's
as
good,
though,
RP.
yeah. You feel as though if you stay in here much longer, you're starting to get confused and disoriented, and if you stay in here much longer, it's only going to get worse. And if you kind of lose yourself for a moment, you don't know what you're going to do or what's going to happen.
I'd like to lead her by the hand if possible. Do I notice this? Kind of hurt.
It's quite visible.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of bring her along and hurry it up if I can.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, she is still. I think her
Yeah.
movement's at 25 now, because
Yeah.
you got halved and then plus 10. So she's still a little slower than usual, but thanks to your arcane efforts, she can keep up a pace. 6, you
I'm
also.
at 30 because my normal walking speed is 40.
Oh, so so you're at 30 right. So actually, she's able to move at a decent pace as you grab her by the hand, and you start to usher her back in a direction you think is probably the right way back. 6, you are also able to stave off any further ill effects.
I
For now.
left a trail of breadcrumbs, so.
Here's how we're gonna do this. Since the party is splitting, Bess and Alistair, you guys have 4 more con saves to go through to make it back. I would like for you to just make those now, so we can get that out of the way, and then go back to 6 and Doran. We'll see what
Four
happens with
con
you guys, and then go back. 4 con saves.
Oh God.
What the fuck is happening?
Yo, these dice are not being nice tonight. Okay. Bess, first with a 16 and Alistair's 9. Alistair, as you're starting to quickly move back, you're starting to breathe a little more heavily, and you can't help but breathe in more hysterium. Your speed is also now halved. So
Oh.
you and Bess are just hobbling along together, doing your best, as she, with a 16, is doing okay. She still seems a little mildly confused, but she's keeping it together enough for you guys to keep pushing back. And then next with a 17, and then Bess with a 3.
This is how the campaign ends, with us all dying in ground zero.
Bess, you now have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, which I believe is effectively a level 3 of exhaustion. You are starting to feel it. You're feeling horrible. You want out. Alistair, then with a 17, you are able to push forward, staving off any further ill effects just to get Bess out. Next, Alistair with a nat 1, and then Bess with a 6. Okay. Bess, as you're trying your hardest to keep your mind together and keep focus and keep moving forward, you find your focus actually pulling you away, and eventually you start to hear and see things. You see apparitions of your past. You hear voices that you haven't heard in years. You feel as though you have a rat tail once again. You look back and you have a tail, and you freak out for a moment, and you just continue letting Alistair pull you along. You're starting to see and hear things that aren't there, and you know they aren't there, but then for a moment you lose your mind again. You think they are, and you're not having a good time. Alistair, at this point, I also need you to roll a d4.
Oh.
A 1. Okay, we'll take that into consideration. With the last one's a 7 and a 10. Bess, you are...
I do have a plan for getting out, though.
Bess, you are...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't you also say? Wait, no, never mind.
Bess,
I
you
have
are...
a gap closer at the very end if we get there.
Yeah. You feel as though...
You're alive.
You
I thought
feel
you
as...
said I had disadvantage on.
What?
I thought you said I had disadvantage. No.
On ability... Oh, you do have disadvantage on saving throws. Now, so actually, for this last one where you got a 10...
Kinda OP. What the fuck?
For this, make one more con save, Bess, please. Thank you for reminding me.
Please
Sorry.
not 20.
I saw that and I didn't want to say anything, but I didn't want to not say anything.
No, that's... Yeah, okay. So with a 10, there's still just under the DC. Bess, you feel warm and hot and confused and terrible. You feel like you would just want to collapse, but Alistair leading you by the hand is the only thing pulling you forward. Your max HP is halved.
Cool.
Alistair, just as you guys are starting to reach kind of the end, you're starting to get to the point where you might be able to get out of here. Rolling a 1 on the D4, you grow very confused. Suddenly you don't know where you are. You don't know what's happening. Who is this girl who's holding your hand? Why does she look so terrible? What is this you're breathing? You don't know what's going on. And Bess, you can tell he's looking around kind of wild-eyed and confused, just as you think you're on the precipice. You think you're on the cusp of making it out. What do you do?
Keep going out.
You're just gonna...
I'm gonna push him.
You're literally gonna push Alistair. You don't know who this girl is. What will you do when she starts to push you?
What the fuck?
Come on, we gotta go.
Except it's super muffled because you can't hear his
Yeah,
voice.
it's... What the fuck?
He said, "Come on, we have to go. We have to
Where?
leave
Who? When? Why? Who are you?
that way." I'm gonna point.
Why?
Trust.
Oh, see, Alistair wouldn't trust a random person. So if he genuinely believes that he's never met Bess before, he would not follow her.
Well, okay. You feel as though she is familiar, but you don't know her name. You don't know who she is, but you just maybe she has one of those faces that just seems recognizable, but there's some sort of familiarity. You cannot place your finger on it.
All right. Once I say follow the wing.
Okay. With that, as you start to push Alistair out, you two eventually, you see the edge of the lines where this purple veined cracks are on the ground around you, and you push him once more out, and you both come out and collapse onto the ground. Bess, you start to heave and throw up onto the ground, and Alistair, your head starts to fill with memories that don't feel like they're your own. You kind of smack yourself a few times, and all at once it comes rushing back, where you are, who she is, what just happened. And it's mortifying, and you are just kind of stunned there for a few seconds as Bess is heaving, and you guys have made it out half alive out of ground zero.
Is my HP halved as well?
Your HP, not quite.
Okay. So if I'm like at half HP and I lose my half of my max HP, does my regular HP go down by half as well?
No.
Okay.
If you're at half, yeah, if you
so
have...
if I have like 80 health and I'm at 40, and I lose half my health, I'm at 40 out of 40.
You lose half your max HP, you just go to 40 to 40,
Okay.
yeah. So with that, you two barely alive, Bess heaving, throwing up onto the ground, maybe crying a little because this was a horrendous experience. Alistair, you just sitting there stunned at what just happened and the effects of the hysterium, but also possibly kind of perplexed in a sort of scientific way. We'll go back to Doran and Six, who are pressing deeper into Ground Zero. As you guys
let it be known that as I do recover, I would send my mislead in there.
Okay. How fast can it move?
Double my movement.
Okay. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. As you two continue pushing forward, yes, perfect. Thank you. As you two continue pushing forward, you start to see a glow up ahead of you. It almost seems like a purple fire kind of dancing in the haze ahead of you. And you look at each other, and you can feel it all over your body, and Doran, you can feel it in your chest. You give each other a nod and continue pushing forward toward this purple flame. I need both of you to make one more Constitution saving throw.
Oof.
Okay. Yes, just before going invisible and setting his mislead, he gives you a quick remark, Bess, that trust him. He is right here with you. And then Alistair vanishes, and you remember he did say...
just hide a bit, and I'll find you when I come back.
Yeah, but you know he's there, but you can't see him, and Bess, you feel very alone. However, with an 8
I toss
and
her
a
my
19...
cane.
As a reminder that he's there. Also, you just kind of grip the cane, knowing he's there, but
Fucking
feeling
whack
alone.
people with it.
Doran with an 8. Now the nausea and the way you're feeling sick starts to set in a bit more, and you are kind of on 6's level. Both of you have disadvantage on ability checks. You are both feeling ill and hot and queasy and not well. Have disadvantage on ability checks, but you're able to push forward. And I'll bring you to this map now. You can see ahead of you now. This thick haze is all around you. But through the haze, you can see this towering, roaring, dancing flame that just shoots up into the air maybe 30, 40 feet within the haze that you'd never seen before, completely masked by the haze. And what appears to be maybe a crater that is its origin. And if you look toward the bottom left here, that is where you guys are coming from.
Oh, that's very purple.
Purple
It was all
people,
the way
I
zoomed
tell
in
ya.
on me. Yeah, purple people, am I right?
Purple people. So, I assume you both push forward?
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see, once you reach about here, you can start to see some of these smooth, hexagonal, non-glowing shapes surrounding the crater and this dancing flame. How close would you guys like to get? What are you doing now?
I would empty all my backpack contents into my bag of holding.
Didn't we say that was quite full? Or was that somebody
That was
else?
me.
That's
Six.
his.
Okay, you have your own.
I have like nothing in my
Okay,
bag of holding.
yeah, then you can put all your shit in there. It might be a little full, but you're okay. You're good.
I dumped most of my stuff at the office. There's a bunch of stars on my
Okay.
inventory list to say what's where.
Okay.
And I would like to go to the hexagonal. We would know, even though I don't, because I'm Blake and I am a busy man who doesn't remember everything. How much we need?
You would recall because Doran hasn't been waiting a week since he was told this. I believe you need 5 pounds of this hysterium. Let me just double check here. 10 pounds. You need 10 pounds of this hysterium.
I would go to the biggest cluster
Okay.
and just.
Well, they are marked on your map where they actually are. You can see them.
Well, what's the biggest?
Biggest looks to be this one over here, but it is
Okay,
very
then.
close to this flame.
I'll go to the closest cluster to me with 6 if he comes with me.
Yeah.
And kind of using my backpack like a fucking shovel, like just see if I can.
You're just gonna try and
Scoop
scoop it.
Yeah, if
Okay.
possible.
So you're not going to touch it. Okay.
I'm going to try. I will tap it once and see how much it hurts.
You're gonna tap it once.
I will like hover my hand close to it, see if I feel anything.
Okay. You hover your hand close, and you can feel almost a buzzing in your head. you feel as though everything within you is telling you to touch this, grab this, consume this, protect this. And all these messages in your head that don't feel like your own. And you can tell they are not your own, but they are just gnawing at your thoughts. And 6, you don't hear these in your head, but you understand something is trying to speak to you. And it's almost like distant mumbles in your head, just being kind of in close proximity. You can't tell what they're saying, but there's something in your head speaking to you. And you can't tell what it's saying.
I touch the rock with my hand.
You touch it, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. A 12. 6, you watch.
Plus
Oh,
5 or
yes.
whatever.
You
6,
do get your
6.
18. 18 is the DC.
Whew.
6, you watch as Doran grabs it, and his entire body tenses up, and his hand grips onto it tightly. And you watch as his head lurches up, and as he lurches up, his mouth drops open, and his eyes start to glow a bright purple, similarly to what you saw happen to Tara. And you quickly you quickly grab him and touch his shoulder and give him a little shake, and he and breathes in deeply of the hysterium. But he comes back, the glow disappears. And Doran, for you, it's just like you blacked out for a split second, and you're holding it now.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. We say at the same time.
Don't touch it. Then I will use my. Is it loose? From my brief touchy touch. Is it loose?
These are loose.
Okay, then I'll just start
They're all
scooping.
loose.
Okay, you're gonna start scooping. This one, you're like, maybe 2 pounds, and you start going around, and the two of you are just gonna shovel this in.
If possible, I would also attempt to, if he's gathering potentially smaller pieces in his scoops, I would then try to grab some larger pieces, just so we have a variety of sizes, or vice versa.
Don't touch. I say.
No.
pointedly.
Just using like my bag and a bag, like a separate sack, kind of
Okay.
trying to maneuver stuff in there.
What is the plan, Harry? Are you trying to grab just enough? Are you trying to grab more than you think you need? What's the plan? How much are you?
Okay. I will have 6 answer first because I'm gonna try to hide something from him.
Okay. My plan would be to attempt to gain 5 pounds, because that's what we were after.
10 pounds
and
total.
If in this crazy 10, wait, we need 10 pounds, or we? Or...
You need 10
We need
pounds. I was
Okay,
mistaken the first
then
time I said 10 or 5. It
Got
is 10.
Got it. I would then attempt to gather approximately 10 pounds, because if Doran and I get separated or something,
Okay.
I think this still needs to happen.
Okay, you're gonna have to gather quite a bit. Then I'm gonna need you to make another con save as you're taking the time to gather all these. Doran, what are you doing?
I am also attempting to grab only 5 or 6 pounds because I'm assuming because we're not discussing this. I'm staying close to 6. I'm not attempting to be separated from him.
Yep.
However, I'm trying to grab a single piece that is decent size.
I'm gonna luck reroll.
Okay, you can luck reroll.
To take back with me to the church as kind of our centerpiece.
Okay.
I want a decent sized singular piece as something we can put into the center of the altar, or something that can be a centerpiece.
Okay. These range from baseball to basketball size. How big are you going for?
Softball.
Softball. Okay.
I want it to be a centerpiece that we can use.
Yep. 6 with a 21. You get quite close to the flame, and you're able to glance over and see this massive, probably 20-foot wide crater with this what seems like a glowing hot white purple orb in the center. And now these voices start to echo in your head louder as you try to concentrate on just grabbing as much as you can, grabbing about 10 pounds worth. And you will accomplish this since you with a luck reroll with a 21. But these voices, you still can't tell what they're saying, but it's like 50 people are talking in your head at once trying to tell you to do different things. You understand them as commands, but you don't know what's going on. So you just do your best to shrug it off and continue. You are able to gather about 10 pounds, so I will remove that from the map now. That's a 3. That's a 4. 5. All right. You have about 10 pounds. So you can add 10 pounds of original hysterium or pure hysterium, however you want to mark it in your inventory, Probably original would
Got
be
it.
better. And as this is happening, you guys do notice coming up behind you the illusory form of Alistair coming up, and now Alistair, you can start relaying to Bess what is happening.
Oh,
Do I
first my
remember-
clone goes, hello.
I was going to ask if I remembered if it could communicate freely or with us essentially.
It can,
so
as long as I'm hearing and seeing through its ears. And
I nod to it.
is Bess safe?
very vomity, but yes.
Are you alive?
Dazed and confused, but yes.
It'd be really weird
We've
if you
gathered
weren't.
enough.
Yeah,
How
Doran.
much
Yeah,
do you have,
those-
Six?
Kind of a dumb question to ask if I was alive and I'm right here.
Yeah, Doran, just before this, you were gathering some as well. You were going for like 5-6 pounds plus 1 softball
Yes.
size. Could you make a con save as well to get just that perfect stone?
Is that with
A
my
twen-
plus 6?
That is +6. That's a 26. Okay, you guys gather probably about half of the shit that was here. And between the two of you, you now realize you have like 15, 16 pounds ish. Doran, you can add 5 pounds of original hysterium to your inventory, plus
The
one,
OG stuff.
plus
hold-
one softball sized one for the.
Question for you: Would I have taken that? Would it have taken me longer to take any effects from this because of the 4 times longer?
No, that the way that translate into this specific instance is your +6.
Okay, I just wanted to know if that was played into it.
I mean
Okay.
that's still kind of what is happening, like, but
But
it's just
I-
mechanically the way it's working is you get that extra +6.
Okay, so I have the 6 pounds and then my 1 softball.
Sure, yeah. So you guys have about 16 pounds between you, and Doran, you've hidden away 1 softball-sized one, and you're feeling the effects. You're both still feeling not great.
I look at 6. How much did you grab?
Enough, I think.
Well, you grabbed 10 pounds. Then
Roughly.
that's a bad move for us to have that more than we need. We don't know if the queen has gathered the hysterium from here. If we have more than we need and she can get it from us, we're playing into our hands. If she has access to another scroll, I say, actually, you know what, scratch that. Let's just go with it. I don't know what to do with the excess if it doesn't need it. Is my concern. Okay, you can move faster than me, 6, correct?
Indeed.
But how do we get out of here safely?
I'd like to have the
Follow the
clone
clone?
look down the hole.
Sure.
Just kind of look over the edge like,
You do not have the whispers. But you look down, and this is very, very intriguing. It is a glowing, white-hot, purple, giant orb of some sort emitting this strange flame that dances gracefully above it, high into the sky, until you can't even see it in the haze anymore.
the dumb part of Alistair wants to go down there.
I mean,
The
you
smart
know-
part knows that I shouldn't.
well, that's not the real you.
I know, but if I go down there, then I can't keep you company on the way back.
Fair point. 6. My thought process is, as we're starting to, I'm getting ready to leave. I can start using Force Step, which will give me a minute where I can teleport 60 feet every 6 seconds, and then run my 90 feet, my extra 60 feet. I can move 120 feet, but you're gonna run faster than me.
Yeah.
Are we gonna separate that way?
I will aim to meet you at each of your teleportation points. I will attempt not to run faster than you unless necessary.
All right. Let's do that then. I will cast. We will start running, and I will using Far Step, which just lasts a minute. I will be able to teleport 60 feet, run 60, 60 feet, run 60, 60 feet,
Okay.
60.
Yep. As you guys start moving back, and Doran, you throw your first teleport out there and jump forward 60 feet. Roll a d100 for me.
Ah,
Every time he appears next to me, I go, ah!
well, here's the thing. We'll see what happens because
Okay. How many of you have weapons? Do Doran or 6? Do either of you have physical weapons on you?
I do. I have my Tanto knife.
That is now a sandwich.
I have a dagger.
That is now a slider.
As I
Basically, you notice suddenly there's a shift in weight on both of your persons, and you look down, and all your weapons are food.
Okay, would that count for my bladed butterflies?
Yes, they are now cupcakes, but you don't. I'll just tell you now, so you don't go through and fuck with your inventory. That's only gonna last a minute, so they'll turn back.
Okay.
But yeah, as you
just,
the first
just out of curiosity, does my does the bomb turn into like a?
the bomb is now a cake.
Okay.
Oh, and here I thought the cake was a lie.
Well, it is because it's not actually a cake. It'll turn back in a minute. But as you
You do not want to eat the bomb.
you teleport the first time, and meet Six. Both of you feel a shift in your weight. You're like, oh, what the fuck? And you notice all your weapons are cake.
Are they real or are they cake?
Oh, sorry, they're food,
Doran's
not cake.
dilemma.
Doran,
Yes.
did you do that?
Not on purpose. I moved my basically as much as I can into my bag of holding, so it's not in this dimension. And I keep moving, and I just will, I guess, waste the last minute of my teleportation.
Okay, so you're only gonna do that once.
If it fucked with things, Doran wouldn't risk anything.
Okay,
Doran and Alice.
without the aid of magic, you guys have a ways to go. You both have 5 con saves to make. So, I'm gonna ask just for my sake, so I can do it more orderly. Doran, can you roll 5 first, and then 6 once he's done? Roll 5, and I
So,
will remember to add your
17.
modifiers. Yep.
32, 13, 21, 29. One more.
That was 5.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
More
so
than 8.
first with a 17, Doran, as you begin running forward and pushing, you're like, fuck, I can't use my magic. You're kind of thrown off by this. You feel the ill effects start to really kick in. Your speed is halved.
I'm already not fast.
So you might have to roll an extra con save or 2. We'll see. Oh, does he still have Long Strider on him? How long does that last?
No, if it's concentration, I would have lost it when he cast Mislead.
Okay. With that, then Doran. 6. Will you
It's
roll yours?
Not concentration.
How long does
How
it
long
last?
does it-
It lasts for an hour.
Okay, so you do still have it. So you're not moving slowly, but you feel your body grow exhausted. 6, you want to roll your 5 quick, so I can do these in tandem?
Yes, I do.
All right.
1, 2,
A 3,
3.
a 4.
I'm gonna luck reroll that one.
Okay. So 23, 13, 15,
And fuck.
12. So now I need one more because you luck rerolled one.
Oh. 1, 2. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So with that, as you're pushing forward, you notice Doran starts to get a bit more sluggish. You're feeling not great either, but you're able to stave off that for the moment, and you're able to, with your just absolute speed, you're probably able to push him along and usher him along. So you guys are still moving at an okay enough.
Kind of take him under the arm and.
Yep,
and-
you can
and
just grab
rush
him and
along.
you're fast enough. Doran, you're feeling like he's so fast, and you know he's trying not to like literally drag you, but he's so fast, just trying to move at a good pace. You're like your feet are dragging every now and then, and you're struggling to move through a little bit. With the next one, Doran rolled a nat 20, and 6 had a 13. So 6, at this point, you also start to feel that sluggishness hit you as you're panting a little bit, using the extra energy to pull Doran along, and you're both at half speed. For,
6's stand name
for
is
the third,
Absolute
a nat
Speed.
1 and a 12. With that, as Alistair is kind of trying to keep up with you guys with the illusory effect, Alistair, you start
16.
to notice...
16.
Hmm?
With the +4.
Did I say... Yeah, you do have a +4. Hold on. So Doran rolled in that one, and you got... Wait, 16 on the 9? Oh, right, because that was the one you rerolled, so 16. So actually, yep. Alistair, you start to notice Doran is starting to look worse for wear. Doran, would you roll a d4 for me?
Yeah.
Two. Okay, Doran, you start to feel confused for a moment, forget who you are, where you are, and whispers in your head start to tell you your name and what's going on around you. and you find it hard to believe, but you trust something in you is trusting it, and you push forward. Moving on to the fourth. 6 got
This is really
a
tense.
13. Doran got a
Voices start
19.
saying your name like once every 5 seconds.
Both of you continue pushing forward sluggishly, but between the two of you and 6's just natural speed, even halved, you're able to move at an okay enough pace. He's pulling you along. Doran, your feet are dragging. And the last one, this here, a 29. And with that, Bess, as you are sitting at the edge, maybe holding Alistair's cane, waiting for him to return, Alistair, do you let go of the mislead once they're about to get out? Alistair?
Yes.
Okay. So, Bess, you notice...
Oh, I thought I was muted. I was
Oh.
like, no, wait.
With that, Bess, you notice Alistair come back, and he's still looking a little shell-shocked, but he's still sitting right next to you as he promised. And as you look over and feel, you breathe a sigh of relief, knowing somebody else is there with you. And a puff of smoke, Doran and 6 come charging out with their bags filled with this hysterium, and they collapse onto
I'd
the
like
ground.
to press the dissertation the vomit away, too.
You start cleaning up the area a little bit, and all 4 of you end up on just in this kind of heap on the ground next to each other, kind of breathing heavily, some of you dry heaving, maybe some more vomit. You have all successfully made it out of Ground Zero with your components.
Oh goodness. Okay, that was rough.
Is my health still halved?
Yes, you all still have these effects. So, Bess, your max HP is still halved. Alistair, Doran, you, and 6, you all are still at half speed as well. So, basically, to put it more simply, because you actually, where you all landed, I think you can mark it down as all of you. Bess is at exhaustion level 4. The rest of you are at exhaustion level 2.
Exhaustion
Gotcha.
level 2.
If I've kept track of this
Alright.
correctly.
You probably didn't because you suck.
Thanks.
Is there a way to keep track of that in?
In roll 20, I actually don't know. I think this has come up just a couple times before. No, I don't think there is. So what I'll have to do, well, no, that I'll just have to make a note of it myself, I suppose. So, Bess, exhaustion 4, everyone else, exhaustion 2. Okay.
I thought you just said 3.
No,
2.
the rest of you are at 2.
Fuck, where am I right now? Jesus.
You're all crouched, laying down
How
on
can
your
I be in
knees,
Wyoming
however
if
you
it
might
doesn't
be,
exist?
just outside of Ground Zero. Looking amongst yourselves, realizing what you've just done and what you just made it through. Bess is looking not well. None of you are looking well, but Bess looks particularly beaten by this hysterium haze.
Bess.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
No.
I would essentially collapse kind of around an arm around Bess and sit there.
I feel like I'm dying.
Both of you are sweaty. It's pretty gross, but it's still kind of endearing. You're all just a hot mess right now.
I would like to get down and spend a minute casting Commune.
Okay. You can do that. Is anybody going to do anything else in the meantime, or are you all just catching your breath?
Catching breath, watching, kind of keeping an eye out, making sure nothing's sneaking up on us.
You're quite sure, now that you've left the precipice of this Ground Zero area, you're maybe 10 feet beyond this veined, cracked ground. You feel that emptiness, this loneliness once again. Like, there is nothing living around you for at least a mile. Like, you're good.
Nice.
Okay.
And you didn't have to fight the cadaver collector.
What?
Oh.
Oh, shit. I was actually going to have my illusion check that out on my way out, but I forgot to do it, so it's all good.
Okay. If nobody else is
all
doing
right.
anything while you guys are recuperating, Doran, commune.
Okay.
You sit down, and once again, you
Cadaver collector. I
feel
fucking hate that.
your chest is still sore from the burning of being in such close proximity to the original stone. but that soreness is relieved slightly by a gentle warmth as you cast Commune, and the heavy breathing and sighs of your friends around you start to subside. The sounds of the rain are all that remain as you sit there, and in your mind's eye, you are sitting alone, just being rained upon. And that's all you can hear or see.
Should we cast the scroll?
Now?
I'm not talking to you.
The rain around you begins to subside and grow heavy again and subside, and it's pulsating almost as if the rain itself is breathing. And you take that as best as you can as a yes with a question mark.
I collected a single piece to bring back to the church. Should I share that with everyone there?
The rain goes back to the pace it was as you were casting Commune and starts to drizzle on you. But as it hits you, it feels cool and refreshing, and you feel at one with it, and you take that as a resounding yes.
Are the rats at the mill a danger to people?
And with that, the rain stops very suddenly, very abruptly. And a single lightning strike blasts in front of you, scorching the ground and shocking you back into the material plane with your friends all around you, completely ending the spell. And you take that as a strong yes.
I look at 6. I've got some pleasant news and some much less pleasant news.
How about the less pleasant news first?
I asked the rock if the rats at the mill were a danger to people, and the rock said, in my own terms, fuck yes.
And the pleasant news?
It believes we should cast the scroll soon. So we have done basically everything right so far.
Bess, Alistair, thoughts?
I don't like the idea of having to kill James, but if it comes to it, then I will.
I'm not thinking right now. I'm just laying on the ground.
She's straight checked out.
Where do you... Should we be in a secure place?
We should find somewhere to set up, honestly.
If something goes wrong with the casting, can't that be... I look back toward Ground Zero. Catastrophic?
As you look back toward Ground Zero, you notice now there are 4 humanoid shapes, completely composed of the hysterium haze, more densely compacted, standing at the edge, watching the 4 of you.
How... Distance-wise?
10 feet away.
I stand and I approach them, hands out, no weapons. And I say, "Are we safe here?"
You stand before one of them, and it gets down on one knee and bows its head to you.
I do the same.
And as you do so, the rest of you watch as 6 bows his head. This hysterium haze humanoid figure rises, but the humanoid shape starts to dissipate and it forms into one ball. And with a quick puff, it disperses and spreads all across Six and then dissipates. And Six, you kind of, not expecting this, you look up just in time to see this. You get blown back a little bit. And you feel great. It's as if it somehow gave its energy to you. Your exhaustion is gone.
Best.
Your health is full.
Best. They're here to help.
Are you asking me to get out?
I will help you.
I could just accelerate her toward the
Don't.
ragdoll Bess.
I'll get up and move that way.
Yeah. Bess, with a
Yeah.
groan, stands up and moves over, lumbers over, and as you stand before one of these humanoid figures, it, in turn, kneels down and lowers its head.
I would bow to it as deeply as I can in my pitiable
Yeah.
state.
You
Bess
you
just
bow.
falls over
Yeah,
onto her
you
face.
as you bow, you feel like your weight. You're struggling to keep yourself up, and your weight is starting to pull you forward, and you just want to drop and fall asleep on whatever happens, and then you all watch as this humanoid shape takes the form of just this gaseous blob and also disperses itself across her. Bess, you are fully healed, no exhaustion.
Plus, I would say thank you out loud. Does that mean my max hit points are back to normal?
Yes.
I thank them again a second time. Thank you.
Doran and Alistair, the last two, approach both of you and kneel and bow their heads.
I bow my head,
And the
And touch
same
my
Yeah,
rock.
as well.
as
touch
you
my rock, and bow.
as you touch your rock, and both of you bow. They both disperse across you. And that is where we're going to end tonight, as you all have reached level 13, given the strength by whatever has just given their energy to you, having survived ground zero.
Wow.
Level up orbs. Fuck yeah.
That's where we'll end for tonight.
I love
Awesome.
orbs.
Awesome. Okay.
Orbs.
That was too tense.
I
Yeah,
would
my
if we had died in there, Holden would have been like, "Oh,
There was seriously, there was a real chance. Bess got very close.
if we had all
We were
died,
all having some-
what's the backup?"
You guys want to know how close she got?
I mean, kinda.
Yeah.
2 more failed saves, death.
Oh,
What's the backup?
Wait.
Holden?
That's when we start rolling death saves? Or,
No,
or just
death.
Insta death.
Death.
Good to know.
What's the back?
my plan to get out of there, the gap closer, was for me to Misty Step out and then use acceleration to kind of fling Bess towards me.